champion from a jam-packed Bud Walton Arena, the place to be in college basketball. Number 3, Alabama shows up taking on a red-hot Arkansas team that is now in discussion for the NCAA tournament. John Calipari has turned things around. It started with a trip to his old stomping grounds in Lexington. And we are underway. I am 0 for 1. Basketball Palace of Mid-America. Jimmy, you were supposed to remind me. Here's Marcus Sears, preseason player of the year in the SEC. He's turned up his game over the last few. They tried to reverse jam by Clifford Amore. Here's a look at the starters for Arkansas. They feature Zvonimir Ivisic on the inside. He has really picked up his play lately, and he's coming off of a 9-point 12-board game in a road win in Austin.
Thomas, an Arkansas team that is good at grinding you out on the offensive end.
They go to Ivisic immediately. Starters for Alabama include Chris Youngblood, who's shooting lights out over the last couple of games. 9 for his last 13 from deep. Nelson shoves his way inside.
Well, this will be a physical
burst set on the other end. Here's Sears behind Amore. Hesitation. Working on Ivisic with the mismatch. Nelson to the rack, and he's fouled at the rim. How do they do it? 4th in the country from 2 at 6.
Schedule. Yeah, they're sitting there with only 3 losses, and they're as good as anybody.
Amore, and then Grant Nelson 6'11" at the 3 spot.
Or DJ Wagner's ball pressure has been critical for Arkansas the last 2 games.
Youngblood off the window. Daniel Davis guarded by the 6'11" Nelson, trying to shake him. Wagner downhill, and on the drive, picks up the foul on Jaron Stevenson.
Tom, because Alabama is so
absolutely electric, the pressure on both sides, and he came out of there.
Meeting up with his old buddies at Dunkin' Donuts the next morning, but he fed his guys confidence on the biggest of big stages. And John Calipari over the years, man, that's when he's at his best.
Sears picked up his dribble, and then he turns it over. Thiero scoops it up. Through traffic, no finish. Billy Richmond is denied at the rim, no whistle. And Stevenson seemed to have caught it away.
Well, both teams are on edge and ready to start this game. Diving on the floor, and again, that's the contact you're going to see all night long. This is a physical league that I think is doing a great job of officiating it like a physical league. Very difficult for Alabama to come in here and handle the atmosphere. Bud Walton Arena on a night like tonight, Tom, you can feel the crowd as the opponent, not just hear it.
Nelson, fancy move. He's got 6 of Bama's 8.
Nelson is so good at reading out-of-bounds underplays and slipping screens and getting free at the rim.
Carter Knox on the floor, along with Billy Richmond III for Arkansas, as Calipari's gone to his bench. Ivisic jump hook. He missed 2 of those against Texas, but gets this one back. Ivisic off the back rim. Nelson, full head of steam. And a dump off to Stevenson, who gets fouled.
Well, you've got to get all 5 guys back in this game if you're Arkansas.
Jaron Stevenson at the free throw line, sophomore from Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
They've held teams to a combined 21% from the 3-point line.
Here's Janelle Davis for 3, and that one is way off. Somebody leave a door open? Hamadi Abate with the handoff. Sears right over the top of Brazil. That is a big-time shot for Sears, 3rd in the SEC. Adu, another mid-range jumper.
Adu is taking the shots that Alabama wants Adu to take.
Only 55% from the floor on the year. Aiden Holloway, beautiful finger roll.
He just
went down. There are no longer any undefeated home teams in the SEC. Missouri lost earlier to Texas A&M. Thiero followed the miss, jams it home.
The most physical guy on a physical team is Adou Thiero. Just made a play right through 3 red jerseys.
He has stepped up his game in his first season in a Razorback uniform. Slacked off. Holloway made him pay.
Why would you back off if you're Thiero?
The threes. Ivisic got his hands on that one. Here's Johnell Davis. And he takes it off the window.
Good read by Johnell Davis to hesitate just a little bit and let Sears fly in front of him. It feels like a game Arkansas has to score off their defense, and they're good enough to do it.
All alone underneath. Aiden Sherrill with the bucket.
Arkansas switching 1 through 5 right now. And they caught in a miscommunication, left the guy uncovered at the rim.
Ivisic for 3. Got it! Against Arkansas last year with Kentucky. Had 18 points and 5 boards. Inside off the window. Ivisic has 9 points and 4 of 7 shooting. The rest of the team just 2 for 11.
And John Calipari feeling like there was contact on the way up.
Sears crosses over, gets to his strong hand, and used every bit of the rim.
And you have to fight with all you have tonight if you're Arkansas to keep that kid from going to his left. He is dynamite with that left hand.
Here's Wagner. Gives it up to Thiero for 3. Got it! Adou Thiero, not a great three-point shooter. Aden Holloway. He's really come along nicely for Alabama. Great compliment to Sears, who's on the bench for the moment. Youngblood for 3. Drills it.
Well, they have a quick trigger, do they not? And accurate at times as well. Youngblood, such a key guy to get back from injury. Another big physical scoring guard for Nate Oates.
After a slow start from deep, Bama's now made 3 of 7. Thiero, drive and a foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. He's always been aggressive. His last 7, he's at nearly 80%.
Well, he can guard any. Is understated in terms of where he was as a freshman, questioning could he play at this level. Now an all-SEC guy looking like a first-round pick.
He has grown both literally and figuratively since he first stepped on campus in Lexington. Holloway and Wagner. This is a big-time matchup. Youngblood got away with a walk. Scoop shot goes home for Chris Youngblood years ago. They're guarding each other right now, 1 and 8. Here's Davis off the screen. Thiero thinking about it. And he just punished Grant Nelson.
Well, Arkansas was very clear in their shoot-around. If Grant Nelson is guarding you as a big and Thiero's a big, drive the ball every time.
And the answer from Aiden Sherrill.
Alabama as good as
when they want to attack on the shot clock.
Well, if they can't score early, Tom, I think Arkansas wants to grind this thing out and see if Alabama wants to defend the entire shot clock. To my point right there, DJ Wagner comes off of it.
Here's Wagner. Wagner left alone. Youngblood got picked up on a screen. Ivisic over Nelson.
Yeah.
Man, what touch.
And Grant Nelson just a half step late. And you can't be a half step late to a guy 7'2" that can stroke it.
Here's Diabate. Ivisic with the block. Diabate cleans it up. Well, what an effort and impact for Zvonimir Ivisic on both ends.
No doubt. And Diabate, that's his game, man. That hard hat award goes to him most of the time. Just making those blue-collar plays that Nate Oates thrives on.
This dude is brimming with confidence. A fade away! Big Z has never played bigger. And an answer on the other end for Bama.
Thomas
Hogs have made 8 of 9 buckets, and they've outscored Bama by 7. Adou Thiero misses in the lane, gets his miss back, and is able to convert.
He has been the most physical player so far for Arkansas in this game, making multiple plays
for the most part. Bama made 65% of their twos, but only went 6 of 17 from D. By the way, Mo Diabate with a foul a moment ago. Here's Sears, and he's somehow snuck in by Knox.
So as Wagner's not on the floor, Arkansas
by a 29% turnover rate. Shot clock at 6. It's now at 4. Sherrill gives it up. Here's Holloway. Beautiful bounce, great look. Sherrill got it out of his hand just in time.
Great.
The country in scoring, leading the country in tempo.
Man, every pass is challenged by Arkansas, right?
Sears with the dump off. Sherrell challenge and another whistle. This one.
And a trusted three-point shooter in high school is what.
Off of a 12.7 board game in the win against Georgia.
With a difference in that game. Florida, again, another team out of this league that is Final Four good.
Knox got it back, going after Nelson. Shot clock late, Brazil to follow Jam.
Arkansas just continues to try to drive the ball off the offensive glass.
Shot clock is off. Aiden Holloway has the basketball, guarded by DJ Wagner. Sears waits on the other side of that slobbering hog. Here's Nelson. Dumped it inside Diabate, clock at 4. Diabate going to work, rolls it over the front of the rim, and that's how the first half will come to an end. Alabama used every second of the clock, and they're halfway to 80. Wanting to push the tempo. Youngblood gets up an early 3. And Theros skies for the rebound.
Yeah, the confidence that Alabama plays with the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. They're pretty much unmatched in college basketball.
Thero turnaround fadeaway.
The physicality of Thero, just enough of a contact by him to knock his defender off the path and elevate. Man, such a tough cover is 3 in white.
He's got 13 on 50% shooting, a couple of offensive rebounds to help him out. Sears finds Nelson, beautiful pass, and Nelson takes it off the window. Grant Day, yeah, up in Devils Lake, North Dakota. He told me before the game, he said, it gets that cold, you better have a shovel. You clean off the concrete pad and you go to work, get your shots up. Deep touch, and it rolls home, and a flex after. Jaron Stevenson.
Slide up to the new #1.
Stevenson bricks the free for the Razorbacks. John Calipari insisted to his team at shoot-around today that if we move the ball enough, they can't guard us. Sears through traffic, dumps it off, and a jam. Clifford Amore. Calipari's team has played starting with that game at Rupp. They've won 3 of their last 4. Not only the win at Kentucky, but then they got another quad 1 win on the. Despite what the Arkansas fans saw, and then Richmond gets whistled for the foul on Nelson. That is
that ball out of bounds.
2 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. Just 60. 1 for 2. Ivisic with the rebound.
Cal will play call for the entire second half with his offense in front of him.
Richmond found an opening and converts.
A little bit of isolation ball by Calipari. He's going to have to go to his bench early in this second half.
Hard screen, freeze, Sears, and he banks it in. Yeah, he's through to Boogie Fland. Richmond leaves it short. Sears tracks down the board. Mark Sears, preseason SEC Player of the Year. Not shooting at the same clip as last year, but that turns into an Alabama putback for Chris.
Run as anybody in this league.
By the way, Florida beat 2 different #1 teams this season. They walloped Tennessee at the O-Dome earlier this year. Here's Aiden Holloway for 3. Bama's got it rolling now. And you look back in the arc, this was a 31-30 game late in the first half. And that one's going to go against Arkansas. They're going to count the basket. They say basket interference. He gives the bucket to Bama. 16-point lead now.
Tom, Big Z has not scored in this half. And he was the offense for Arkansas. And right now Arkansas running their what they call circle action for Wagner, grinding the game away a little bit. Let it fly.
Ivisic,
yeah.
4th 3 of the game. He's got 18. Season high in points for Ivisic. Youngblood fouled on the 3. Nelly Davis did that a couple of times in the loss to Oklahoma. In 11 of his last 17 from deep. He is 2 for 4.
Now back to his hometown.
Sidestep 3 for Ivisic. Alabama comes out of there with it. Lamera Philon pushing the pace. Holloway whips it inside, and Nelson with the reverse.
You have to get matched up against Alabama in transition. Even if you are mismatched, that's better than no match like Arkansas just did.
Ivica looking to score. Slices through and gets fouled. And that goes ahead. Thanksgiving week has another one. Right there on the Adriatic, they say they have the best oysters in the world. Are you an oysters guy? Holloway with a shake on Brazil. Not a good shot. Push ahead to Knox, intercepted by Philon. Now Philon working on Brazil. Amori with the hammer.
Ravi and I will have Alabama at Texas, so a big Tuesday night again in this SEC.
Well, in Kentucky, you mentioned it, knocked off South Carolina, 23-point win. Otega Oweh had 17. Arkansas looking for a surge. Crimson Tide, pardon me, 12. Nelly Davis uses an Ivica screen. And the handoff. Davis fouled on the 2.
That pig right on your chest. It's a Tech team. Grant McCaslin's got it going, man.
When we went to that last television timeout, they ruled that his hand was through the rim, but not before the ball got there. Or pardon me, before the ball got there. So it wasn't interference. Philon. He now works on Ivica. Got him in the air. And got it to go.
Tom, another example, though, Alabama.
And an Arkansas turnover. 3-on-2. Sears finds Philon. Amori muscles it up. We'll try again. And
2 years in a row now, 3. Alabama has played the toughest.
well, forthcoming. Amori misses the free throw. They lost to Purdue on November 15th. And then they lost to Oregon to close out the month of November. Since then, they've only dropped 1. Richmond rolls it home.
With Big Z not on the floor, Alabama goes to the drop coverage, so you come off of it. The big's not there, and a nice read for the pull-up jump shot.
Sears into the paint. Diabate follows his miss.
If you can't guard the ball, you can't guard the glass, and that's exactly what happened to Arkansas.
Tied 52% from the floor in the second half. Here's Richmond. Short corner pull up. Got it! And he's fouled. Mid-range is working for Arkansas. And what a team he played with at Camden High School.
2 good guards.
Sears gets free. Holloway wants it back. Instead, straight downhill drive and a beautiful finish by Mohamed Diabate. He's into
is for our offense. Right now, Arkansas, you're going to see they're going to have to start going to quick hitters. Right in front of Arkansas's bench, Cal's got play calls, but they got to be the quick ones. Boy, Arkansas, tonight, defensively out of bounds under. Arkansas has been beaten more times than they've won that battle.
Well, Thero couldn't challenge it. Now a dozen for Diabate. Alabama poised to become the #1 team in the country. Thero. No good. And a loose ball. Diving on the floor is Richmond. Bama comes out of there with it. Amori flushes.
Country. Well, Alabama, they've been so impressive on the road. This Bud Walton Arena, and it was at fever pitch for most of that first half, and Alabama just shut it down.
Thero's got 17. An Arkansas team that has worked its way closer to the NCAA tournament, according to Joe Lunardi. This was a real opportunity for him, but Bama is just muscling Arkansas in the interior. That's 14 now for Diabate.
Diabate was tougher than tough being guarded right there by Thero. Talk about 2 of the most physical guys in this league, one-on-one, that Diabate just won it.
Trading buckets is not going to allow Arkansas to gain any ground. Alabama leads the country in scoring, better than 90 points a game. Philon hangs, can't quite hit. And they do it not necessarily from three. They're only at 34%, although that clip is up from where they were earlier this year. Davis for three. 14 for Davis. Nate Oates uses.
For a team like Arkansas at 14-8, 3-6, to still be right there on the cusp tonight in early February.
ACC probably a three-bid league. Obviously a huge win for Clemson today. That's Samori again.
Nate Oates calls a timeout, draws up a play, gets great execution, and brings the hammer at Arkansas around the rim. 52 points in the paint, Tom, for Alabama.
That is domination. How about the win for Louisville today? Knocked off Miami at home. Then Pat Kelsey went into the stands to shake the hands of the Louisville faithful.
Good for him.
Wagner fouled on the drive. Here's DJ Wagner. Only one bucket this second half. He's using coaching and broadcasting. He was brought up today when we were talking with Nate Oates, who was coaching the Grizzlies. That coincided with Calipari's time at the University of Memphis, and we already told the story in the first half how Nate Oates copied that dribble drive offense. He met Cal when Cal was recruiting Detroit. He was down there to visit the Browns, including Brendan.
Lakers Nuggets one night in the crossover, and he was sitting there about an hour from
tomorrow on ABC.
Tom, another guy that's done that team, got I think 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists from Danny Wolf, which that guy's going to make a lot of money in the NBA.
Thiero fouled on his way in. You think that was an emotional hunt?
353 Big Ten wins ties him with Bob needing to do.
Well, you are all in on the Big Ten. I'm impressed. Ivisic with the putback. He's got 21.
Still some game pressure, right, on Alabama? And just a turnover and make, and Bud Walton's going to get lit.
And those folks who left early going to miss out. Davis fouled at midcourt. And this is the fourth on Diabate. Now he gets an earful from Nate Oates. Bakem got by him, blocked it. Richmond with the rebound. Here's Thiero ahead. Steps through. And a whistle and a foul on Alabama.
Tom, that was a great job. The strength and the depth of this league, multiple teams.
With 4 fouls, and he drills both free throws. Sears on the attack. Trying to dump it off. Ivisic with the steal. Hogs have scored the last 7 to make it a game. Richmond downhill. Oh my goodness! Nelson. No! Ivisic the board. Pandemonium in Fayetteville right now.
Alabama has felt this crowd the last 60 seconds.
3 ball. Goes! On Ivisic. He blocked his last attempt. Let him go again. This time didn't get a hand up.
Yeah, the trickery of Sears, knowing that Big C was probably waiting on it. So he goes with a little bit of a quick release with that left paw. Big basket for Alabama.
The Hogs have heated up on the offensive end. They made their last 6. Davis kick out. Here's Wagner for 3. Sears can't hear Holloway. Wanted to get a play call in from Oates. Into the corner for Youngblood. Richmond is limping his way up the court. They're going to stop play with the ball in the front court. And Richmond grabbing at his left.
Screener, pick and pop guy is real right now with 1:42 to go in this game.
Ivisic has hit 5 threes in this contest. Hand off to Davis. Davis for 3. Thiero skies for the rebound. Muscles his way up, and Nelson got a piece of it. Taken away by Davis. Ivisic wants a touch. 1:20 to play in Fayetteville. Wagner slices down the lane, and he's fouled by Clifford Amori. But his second largest in the last 15 seasons.
Which will be the new #1 if they get out of here with a win.
Wagner's knocked them both down. It's a 3-point game again. We approach 1 minute to play.
If you're Arkansas, you defend and you make sure you limit Alabama to 1 shot.
Richmond back on the floor, playing hurt. Sears penetrates. Got Ivica off balance. Youngblood fires a three. It's an air ball, but an offensive putback for Nelson.
Man, those air balls, they're just a 50-50 chance, man. They are so difficult to box off and rebound. Grant Nelson got to that weak side and found the basketball, and a terrific job by Nelson.
5-point deficit. Arkansas trying to knock off number 3. Ivica. Two-man game with Davis. He's got a Mori on him. Took a while to get it to Ivica. 10 on the shot clock. Reverse layup is good. Career high 26 for Zvonimir Ivica. 8-second difference, shot clock and game clock, and Grant Nelson can't get it in. He used the timeout.
Back to the ball or go long threat. That's a good, clean play by Alabama to get it in.
Arkansas will set up and play defense. Sears guarded by Richmond. One possession game.
Yeah, 7-8 seconds, right?
Yep.
Is the difference. If you're Arkansas, just guard it. Guard it and play it out.
Nate Oates says, wait. Here's a screen from Amori.
You know Sears wants to get to his left.
He's a lefty. Shot clock at 5. Gives it up. Holloway, deep 3. Off the shot clock. And Arkansas will have 10.6 left. If Nate Oates wants to foul, when do you foul?
Ideally, 4 seconds or less. You could come with a foul. If not, you're going to have to play this thing out.
Here's Wagner. Clock at 8. Now it's 7.
Okay.
And a timeout into the front court. DJ Wagner, by the way, went immediately to the official who was handing him the ball before they came out of the timeout.
If you're Alabama.
Let's see who they put on Ivica. He'll be a screener at first. Richmond to Davis for Ivica. And a quick foul with 5.5 left. Sears collapsed on him.
It is a huge miss.
Hero will crash the glass. The shot is good. 2-point deficit, 5.5 to play. Youngblood gets it quickly. Yeah. Arkansas was asleep.
They were. Probably.
And he calmly drills the first. Missed it. Ivica lost the rebound. It stays with Bama.
And 3.3 left. All because basketball.
Stevenson to pull the trigger. Gets it in. Youngblood fouled finally with 1.4.
But you would have time for one bounce of the ball and a heave. The door's not completely locked shut yet. Now
that's it. And Alabama will be the new #1 team in college basketball for the first time since the end of the 23 regular season. And an Arkansas turnover just for giggles to the end this one. Wow, what a contest.
No doubt.
What a test.
And how good is Alabama? I'll be there Tuesday night when they go against Alabama, but Alabama will be the new #1 team, and they have all the looks of a Final Four team again this year, if not possibly winning the entire thing.
Nate Oates and Alabama go to 20-3 in the season. They're also tied first place with Auburn in the SEC. Your new #1 come Monday, most likely. Bama 85, Arkansas 81.